All right, Shalom. Call Haloyim. La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Shalom to you fellow laborers doing the work in truth and in sincerity, especially during these times. Shalom to the few Akwatim that believe as well. A hearty shalom to you other laborers and believers that are scattered throughout the face of the earth, whether you be among the heathen and even like the heathen, which are speckled Israelites, to the whole household of faith, which is the elect. I want to say shalom. All right, back at you with another quick Lord willing edifying lesson. And this is courtesy of the Epic Economist. I want to say fair use, fair use. But as you can see, all right, everything that's going on in this video, all right, which the title itself says what? Shelves are all over America are going empty and you won't believe what's coming. We're living in that time where we're literally witnessing, all right, 2nd Esdras 15, all right, and 2nd Esdras 16 come to light. As far as, prophetically. Okay, so I'm going to let this clip play. All right, again, I want to say fair use. All right, my videos are not monetized, only for, education and edification purposes, So fair use, fair use. Under the Fair Use Act. I want to play some of this clip that the Epic Economist, he goes into, showing you clips of different things that's going on involving the economy and jobs. All right, and even agriculture. So let's click on it.
Happening now, the last ships from China bringing cargo unaffected by President Trump's massive new tariffs are sailing into American ports. So that means the countdown to supply shortages and rising prices has officially begun.
We will not see goods from China coming to our shores. We will see empty shelves, and that will raise the risk of recession, layoffs, and other types of contractions that businesses and adjustments that businesses will have to make in order to ride out this storm.
Now, J.P. Morgan is projecting that they expect a 75 to 80% drop in imports from China this year.
Have you prepared yourself for the possibility of empty store shelves across America? When I first started talking about the upcoming shortages last month, many people were skeptical. But now, numerous experts are warning that we're facing a crisis of historic magnitude. Most larger retailers will still have several weeks of inventory on hand, but after that, the shortages will become increasingly evident. For small...
And that's directly due to these tariffs, and your man, the current president of Babylon, which is Donald Trump, he's doing the beautiful job of collapsing this place. Okay, this is like the climax of the movie. All right, where you see, or the part of the movie where you see the bad guys go down, and that's what we're watching. The bad guys being the Edomites, the wicked. Their society is going down. So it's beautiful to watch, man. All right, all experts pretty much are in agreement of what's going on. And this is why we warn all people about the danger that's coming, because it's here. All right, and you're going to feel it. All right, so these shells, like you see in the background, so these shells look like this, which they already look like this in a lot of stores. All right, once they start to deplete even more and more, then people are going to start to lose it and bug out, But we've been warning of these things, man. We've been warning of these very things, man.
For businesses, these shortages will be apparent much earlier. Just last Sunday, I visited a small local business to purchase some groceries. This particular discount store sells food items along with various other products, many manufactured in China. As I browsed through the aisles, I was shocked by how depleted their stock levels were. It was truly disappointing to see. Of course, anything we're observing now is merely the beginning of what's eventually coming. According to CNN, estimates suggest that Chinese imports into the United States will experience a significant decline by the second half of the year. The historically high tariff on China has effectively halted all trade between the two nations. Trump has repeatedly stated the number of...
So he know. He know what's going on. And this is why he really is trying to, call the because even the Apostle Hart was going into this, and I was watching this video. It's true. We look at all the news sources. Like Trump is trying to call, Moab to the table to make a deal. And right now, Moab's like, nah, fuck that. We'll wait. You think that you're going to strong arm us? Something that we're, accustomed to doing as far as trade and goods and doing business for thousands of years. And you don't know how to deal, all right, with your 200, some odd years of being established as a country. Yet you're trying to call yourselves breaking, our economy. You're going to break your own economy. You're going to collapse your own economy, all right, and it's way of life for its citizens, man. Things are about to change, man, for the worse, which is good. All right, scripture say what? Better is the end of a thing than the beginning. So this is 2 Ezra 15:14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Right? That's when you're going to have, the streets looking chaotic, anarchy. All hell going to break loose, literally, man. You watch, Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. Now, let's go to the word sedition to show you. Okay, sedition. It says rebellion, uprising, revolting, factitious commotion in the state, concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority. All right, violent strife between factions, civil or religious disorder, riot, rebelliousness against authority, man. This is going to come because why? The shells all over America are going empty, and you won't believe it. Right? So when it hits you, all you people, including you tribes, you so-called Negroes, Latino Native American people, the Israelites, you're going to know very well that a prophet had been among you. Okay, warning you, bro. Warning you, you rebellious Israelites to return to the Lord. All right? Because when these evils come, what are you going to do? Like Ezra said, woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days? Who's going to deliver you in the days to come? Weeks to come. Who's going to deliver you? You trust in a man that's going to deceive you at the end of the day. All right, all you tribes. The scripture say what? Curses he that trusted in men. It says, what's it? So civil or religious disorder, man, that's coming. All right, rebellion against the authority. Where it goes into that, right? Verse 16, for there should be sedition among men, and invading one another, they should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right, the kings and princes or this authorities. People ain't gonna have a regard for that. They're gonna take matters into their own hands. So this civil disorder, all right, it's gonna happen. You think you're gonna be peaceful when people can't go in the store and buy their food? It's only so long their refrigerators and cabinets going to have food. And when it runs out, what happens? They're going to start to look to find food to survive. Right? Verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city, should not be able. Right? Because of martial law. You know? When they set up these troops at these, entering and exiting of the city points, the entrance access points, the main ones at least, you ain't gonna be able to get into the city, man. Leave the world behind. Show you a scene where these Tesla cars, they were all crashing, and then they were blocking the bridge to the city. You know, that's a movie example, but how so never it be. The point is that the city was cut off, and we knew that they put these little subliminal messages in movies, man. You know, showing you what's getting ready to happen. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city, and should not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Yeah. And this is what the scriptures, speak about when it speaks about the great misery that's going to come upon the world because of their pride, right? 2 Ezra 8:50, for many great misery shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. So because of the pride of this place, all right, the pride of Babylon, all right, people are going to lose it, man. You know? For because of their pride, 2 Ezra 15:18, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. All right? Men is going to be afraid, man, in that day. Now, as far as Israelite men, the ones that you don't trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you're going to be afraid, man. Because you're going to catch hell far beyond what you imagine. All right, or thought. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, and this is when your food depletes out of your home. When the food depletes out of your homes, you can't go to the store anymore. Because why? The storehouse is going to be found, or shall be empty. Roughly paraphrasing. 2 Ezra, the 6th chapter. Then where are you going to go? To your neighbor's house, seeing what your neighbor got for you to eat and survive. So it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Right. Lack of food. They're catching hell. They're catching trouble on every side. You know? So they're going to go in there. They got weapons. And these different, houses of their neighbors. In a desperate mind state to survive. And it's free for all. All right, this is free for all, or hey, chaos is just simply coming, man. People react with radical acts when they're in a mind state of desperation, man. And that's what's coming. But howsoever, right? We warn you of the perilous times that's coming, as the scriptures tell us, man. We warn you. The blood off our hands, bro. All you wicked Israelites out there, you ain't gonna have an excuse in that day, because Yahweh Shem Yahushai have stretched out his hand to you. Okay. Ezekiel 33, and I'll start at 1. I'm gonna read the NLT. says, once again, the message came to me from the Lord. Son of man, give your people this message. When I bring an army against the country, the people of that land choose one of their own to be a watchman. When the watchman sees the enemy coming, he sounds the alarm to warn the people. Right. Oh, excuse me. Now, in this case, the army, right, or troops are going to be Esau's troops. It could be UN troops, U.S. troops, right? Will come in like a flood. All right. Like it says in 2nd Esdras 16, they're going to be like madmen, sparing none. Right? Let me see if I can get that real quick. Second Esdras 16. And I'll start at verse 71. They should be like madmen, spared none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord, because we're the main targets, right? We're the main targets. So when these troops come down, they're gonna really come after us. 72. And then you think about they reopening Alcatraz, you know. What do you think that's for? They reopened a notorious prison, you know. Remember that some of the men of the Lord were cast to prison, all right, in ancient times. Okay, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. All right, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. You know. So you know, they're gonna do it to the men of the Lord. You other Israelites don't are not going to be excluded. Remember, Esau hates you too. You know. Back in Ezekiel 33, in verse 3, on NLT, it says, when the watchman sees the enemy coming, he sounds the alarm to warn the people. Then if those who hear the alarm refuse to take action, it is their own fault if they die. Right. We blowing we're sounding the alarm. Okay. If you don't take heed to the alarm or the sounding of the alarm, right, you're going to die and it's going to be your own fault. Verse 5, they heard the alarm but ignored it, so the responsibility is theirs. If they had listened to the warning, they could have saved their lives. Right, if you took heed to the warning, which the warning came from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But you mocked the messengers of the Most High, right? And then it's going to be what? No remedy when that time comes. The Lord's going to mock you. When your fear cometh as a desolation, man. You know? It says, if the watchman sees the enemy coming and doesn't sound the alarm to warn the people, he is responsible for their captivity. And your ass thrown into a prison. Into a concentration camp. It says they will die in their sins, but I will hold the watchman responsible for their deaths. See, so verse 7 says, now, son of man, I am making you a watchman for the people of Israel. You Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and American people. Therefore, listen to what I say and warn them for me. Okay? So we're warning you, man. All right? And it's really Yahweh Bashem Yahushua warning you, man. In fact, I'll get some real quick. Let me see. Might be 2nd Chronicles, Shalakia. Let me see. I'll just type it in, Shalakia. This is what's coming. Second Chronicles 36. Okay, I got the verse in the chapter mixed around. It says Second Esdras 16. Second Esdras chapter. No, I said Second Esdras. Second Chronicles chapter 36. And I'll start at verse 15. All right, Second Chronicles 36 and 15. And the Lord power of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, which are who? The prophets, right? Matter of fact, let's go to the NOT. It says, the Lord, the power of their ancestors, repeatedly sent his prophets to warn them, for he had compassion on his people and his temple, right? So the Lord set up his service of prophets, man. Okay? That's how the Most High operates, man. All right, he sets up his men, his prophets, to give the warning. But what's going on is Jake don't want to hear the warning. Verse 16, but the people mocked the messengers of the Most High and despised their words. They scoffed at the prophets until the Lord's anger could no longer be restrained and nothing could be done. See? And the Lord is going to show his anger and wrath towards this place. And if you, as far as you know, you Israelites out there, if you're not right with the Most High, he's going to destroy you. And there's a reason for the 2/3 scripture. It's right here in Babylon, they're going to be destroyed. 2/3 of our people. They don't want to return. They don't want to hearken. They don't want to take heed to the warning. You know? But again, that's your own fault, man. It says, whosoever despises the word shall be destroyed. You know? Proverbs 13, verse 13. On the NLT, people who despise advice are asking for trouble. Right. This spiritual advice we're giving you, man. Hey, return to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. He will abundantly pardon. You know? So you're asking for trouble if you don't want to accept the spiritual advice that we're giving you. It says those who respect a command will succeed. Those who take heed to the warning. Those who rejoice, hearing the words of the Lord is going to, ultimately be defended in that day. You know? The rest of you, hey, man, you're going to perish, man. And that's pretty much the reality of the situation, man. When these evils come upon you, you're going to perish because you didn't prepare yourself. You didn't take heed to the alarm, you know? So, hey, with that, I'm going to end it right there. Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem, Rakakodash. Hey, shalom to the elect, and I'll see you in the next video, Lord willing. Shalom.